Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Adventure Comics 114, Superboy spells danger. It's a spelling bee issue where Clark goes to the National Spelling Bee in Yellowstone. Well, near Yellowstone, but he spends a lot of time in the Yellowstone National Park. And if you've been thinking about taking a vacation to Yellowstone National Park, do I have a comic for you that's going to be a massive sales pitch? Yes. One of the massive issues with this story is it's not much of an actual story as it is just a advertisement for Yellowstone. Even the super heroic action set pieces are all set around big places in Yellowstone. It doesn't read like a story, it reads like a sales pitch or a brochure for Yellowstone. That's not the only problem this story has, as Superboy is starting to get into the same issues I have with the actual Superman comic. Which is, a lot of set pieces are just kind of there because they're afraid we're going to get bored with, plot or anything else. So essentially they build stories around randomly coming up with like 3 action set pieces. Here we do have 3 again, which has become aggressively worse as they've added 3 more pages to the total of Superboy comics, as there used to be 7 pages. And back when there were 7 pages, the story and the character dictated what the action pieces were, or what Superboy was going to do that was fantastical. Now we just kind of have fantastical moments thrown in with very little plot to justify them. It's like a big blockbuster that didn't put a lot of thought into it. They came up with the action pieces and the story, and they just kind of threw them together instead of coming up with a story and then building into those action set pieces. So you have Superboy dealing with Old Faithful and a waterfall. The beautiful vistas of Yellowstone. But it's not particularly all that interesting because it's not really based around plot, and it just keeps happening because it needs to happen to fulfill the 10 pages of the page count. Superboy, at least in like the first Superboy story in More Fun Comics, is just tossing around some guys who are threatening to kill his friends. That didn't need much setup. And it made sense what he was doing. Now we just let things go on so we can hit the 3 things he needs to do. It's banal and very uninteresting. The actual plot is involving him having to protect one of the other contestants who has accidentally stumbled on some criminals running around Yellowstone. It doesn't really matter. He saves him. In case you're wondering, Clark does lose the spelling bee because he has to spell super hydrothermodynamic, which is a word Superboy used, and if he spells it correctly, it proves he's Superboy, which is just terrible evidence to prove that he's Superboy. Superboy at no point actually spelled the word he was using. An absolutely ridiculous ending to not allow Superboy to win that contest, though he is Kryptonian, he has an unfair advantage. I don't like this story. It's just too full of just trying to find ways of Superboy doing something instead of actually telling a story with Superboy. Okay, that is it from Superboy spells danger. He would have lost the spelling bee if he would have spelled danger that way. That would have been a better way to end this. I mean, it would have been a more ridiculous way to end it. I would have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe with the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday. Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the boy of tomorrow? And why do I have such an issue with saying super hydrothermodynamic? It's maybe too many words, and that whole switch from hydro to thermo is really screwing with my mind. Okay, have a great day.